Okay, so you're sitting at your desk one morning watching anime or some shit like the filthy, dirty, disgusting weeb that you are, when suddenly you get this epiphany from Jesus or Buddha or whoever you're worshipping on that day, and they tell you, "My child, it is time for you to make your own anime and change the world." And you're like, yes, I always knew it was my destiny to one day make my own anime like the filthy, dirty, disgusting weeb that I am. But upon reflecting on it a little further, you realize you know nothing about anime production, so you don't even know where to start. Well, today you're in luck, as here you can learn the basics of what it takes to make your favorite trash show.
But I've already watched Shirobako!
Without watching Shirobako. Well, the first obvious step is to be Japanese. Because there's not an anime if you're white, alright? You're done, mate. Get over it. Alright, so you've hit the jackpot and you have some kind of Japanese heritage in you. Congratulations, you can now start pre-production. Now, assuming you don't have a spare few $1 million just lying around the house and Uncle Derek isn't going to lend you the odd 100 to 300k to fund your new business venture in Asian cartoon land, because that's like at least 10,000 trips to Nando's, and who would want to sacrifice the spicy, succulent taste of Nando's chicken for this crap? No. You'll need to suck some major dick to be part of a committee consisting of the production company or anime studios where you can pitch your idea for the next profitable anime. Yep, did you catch the most important word in that last sentence? That's right. Dick. Oh, sorry. Profitable. Yes, first and foremost, the only thing these guys care about is how much moolah it's likely to make, since they'll be the ones fronting the cash for it. Look, I know you have that great new original idea that would make the likes of Madoka, One Punch Man, and Steins Gate shit itself in comparison, but unless your name is Mr. Miyazaki, Shinbo, Imaishi, Hosoda, Shinkai, Urobuchi, Watanabe-san, or a few other select people, no one's gonna trust your idea to make a dime. Right, so the anime original route is out of the question, so let's stick with the language that everyone here is guaranteed to understand. Manga and
light novels.
These have a pre-existing fan base that you can sell to, and the story is already there. Oh, sorry though, nobody really thinks adapting that original multi-layered deconstruction of mature anime with mature characters is a great idea though. We gotta think simply, yeah? Take words you think are important like character development, depth, story structure, and chuck them out the window. Now, is the main character generically bland who's overpowered in some way so the audience can self-insert themselves into? Great, we're onto something. Does it have enough tits in it? Are there a big enough variety of tits? Is every tit attracted to the main character in some way? I don't even care if one of them is a sister. She doesn't even have to be related in any way. Make her an adopted second cousin to his estranged aunt or some shit. But most importantly, is there enough fucking tits in it? No? Congratulations. Now go make the next Kuroko no Yaoi on Ice. It's important you pick source material that is likely to generate sales or has an opportunity to make extra income through merchandising. I mean, fuck, those hundreds of naked Rem Dakimakuras aren't gonna sell themselves. Did I mention high school? Oh yeah, pick something in high school. Alternatively, if none of this sounds appealing and you do have a shit ton of cash lying around, you can always go to Crunchyroll-san to introduce you to some anime studio and hope they like your pitch. Hey, I've got this great idea about making this anime music video kind of thing that looks really cool and has this touching story about fatherly love and like moving forward from painful memories. Yeah, sorry mate, we're not really interested. But it has a girl trapped in a virtual reality.
Oh my god, let me suck your dick!
Alright, so they all settle on some kind of light novel adaptation of a magic harem high school show, complete with a tsundere heroine whose only redeeming quality is that she can suck a golf ball through a garden hose. Not exactly what you were hoping for, but fuck it, it's been approved. Now it's time for you to pick your A-team of staff members who will try their hardest to make this not suck. Some important roles to note at this stage is the director, script supervisor, and character designer. Directors will oversee the entire project and will have the final say in any decision made about the anime. The script supervisor helps plan out the series composition, which is a fancy way of saying they plan out the basics of what happens in each episode of the anime, or in other words, hey, let's get ready to make everyone lose their fucking heads over episode 3, am I right, lads? And lastly, the character designer's job is to obviously design the characters. Dickhead. Once the basics of the story and designs are mapped out, it's time to write the show. Sometimes one person handles it, and sometimes it's a team of writers working with the script supervisor. But yes, all of this does mean that someone, somewhere, on paper, had to write out such masterpieces as, and then the girl confidently targeted her small-titted opponent with her ass, only to be surprised that her boobs are transformed into a big, bouncy butt, as all that remained of her was but an after-image of where her tits once stood.
Yeah, man, I think we're definitely on a winner this time.
Next step we get to is the storyboarding. This is normally done by the director, locked in a cage being forced to draw storyboards until he either finishes or starves to death. Of course, this is just a scene from Shirobako, and actual industry standard methods for getting a director to finish their storyboards are far more humane. Probably. The storyboards break down the anime episodes into different cuts.
Now exactly what a cut is a bit different from live action.
See, a cut in live action film is when you simply cut from one shot to another, like this. Hello! But in anime, a cut refers to a single shot of the imaginary camera, since every new shot requires a new background to be painted along with a new animation movement. Alright, that's a pretty good take. We can cut now.
Guard, your fly's been down the whole time.
The fly's been what? From the storyboards, the layout of each cut can be created. A layout, in simple terms, is a more detailed blueprint than the storyboards, giving the positioning of the cell and the background art that will be needed for each cut. Once that's done, we can move to the biggest part of anime. The anime. Ting.
God, just fucking kill yourself right now.
Based on the storyboard, key animators are given a certain number of cuts where they have to draw the essential frames and distinct position that goes into animating a certain scene. Essentially, they're in charge of the basic structure of animation, and around 20 key animators given different parts can be working on a single episode of anime at a time. Key animators are kinda like the lead guitarists of the animation world, as although the key animators have to follow the movement structure presented in the storyboard, they are given creative freedom in how to express that movement, and some animators have been able to make a name for themselves by instilling their own distinctive style into a scene, essentially stealing the show with bits of really cool segments of animation. This has led to a subset of Japanese animation called Sakuga, and without getting into the nitty-gritty of what Sakuga actually is, as that's a whole other video entirely, suffice to say Sakuga is the animation equivalent to that 15-minute felsmating guitar solo Bobby brought out that one time that made all the chicks sweat and everyone else forget about the rest of the set you played that night. But if you really want to get noticed as an animator, you know the only piece of animation you need to choose. To make sure the 20 Bobbies you hired aren't going fucking mental and share some consistency between their cuts, it's the animation director's job to check that that is the case and make any corrections if need be. This is a pretty important role that requires a lot of experience, because for the last fucking time, Bobby, there are character sheets for a reason. I get you want to express yourself, but you can't cover Stairway to Heaven with a guitar solo from Pink Floyd, and you can't animate this fucking anime if your characters look like a bloody horse. Once the keyframes are done, they are then sent off to the in-betweeners, the bass guitarists of the anime world. I'm sorry, bass guitarist. The in-betweeners do the grunt work and fill in the gaps between each frame to make everything look silky smooth. Or not, apparently. They're given instructions from the key animators for how many frames they need in between. And because of the extent of the grunt work required, a lot of the times this job is outsourced to Korea, China, or Vietnam. Wait, are you trying to tell me that anime isn't completely animated in Japan? That's right, all this time you thought you were watching Japanese anime, but it was Chanime this entire time.
I didn't even know what was real anime.
Yeah, that definitely sounds Japanese.
Hey man, Avatar was animated in Korea, so does that mean it's anime too?
This guy's definitely not white. Jokes aside though, the in-betweening is normally outsourced to save costs, and saving costs is something anime studios do really well, and they do this using this really new innovative business strategy called paying your animators fuck all. Like, almost fuck all. Now, you may be thinking that this sounds like extortion and borderline slave labor, but you know, after all the frames are done, they can be digitized, cleaned up, and colored in, along with all the backgrounds. Oh, I forgot to mention, throughout the animation process, background artists have to paint every single background in every single cut. And so everything can be composited together to create a nice little bit of anime. This is also the stage where any special effects or CG can be added to the animation if necessary. And then I said, how about we just make the entire anime in 3D? Ted! That's actually a brilliant idea! No, don't you get it? It was a joke. I was making a joke. It's no joke how great that idea was. Guys, it was a joke! A fucking joke! We're not actually doing this! And once all that is done, all you'll need to do is add all the sound effects, background music, and of course, we can't forget the all-important A-list voice acting you'll need to finish things off. Alright, just get ready to record after the beat, okay? Ready? Alright, can we try that take again? Just a bit more rapey this time, please. And that's it. You're pretty much done for this episode. Now just repeat this for 12 to 24 times, throw in a bunch of overworked animators, ungrateful fans, fuck ton of scheduling delays, and you have yourself a full season of anime in your hands, ready to be rushed over and broadcast where it finally belongs. In all seriousness though, I do hope this video has enlightened some of you to how hard it can be to get a decent anime approved, let alone the talent and know-how to make it good. Despite the amount of mediocrity out there, nobody in Japan is waking up in the morning going, you know what, I want to make some generic piece of shit today. But with the budgeting, timing constraints, not to mention how risky it is to get new and original anime approved in the first place, and the amount of anime that even struggle to make a profit, it's actually kind of a wonder when a golden egg is able to be laid. It's easy to get pessimistic with how hard it is to actually make a decent show, so if you're watching something right now that you really enjoyed, don't forget the massive amount of work that went into making it. Maybe throw in a buck or two their way if you really appreciate it, and if there's nothing for you right now, chin up. There's still plenty of people in this industry who want to make something great, so I'm sure you won't have to wait too long.
Did Giga try to be educational? What a fucking loser! Hey guys, hope you enjoyed the video. Thank you very much to Jared Cattell, Tony Lowe, Gabe Brown, Thomas B, and everyone else on Patreon for helping to support me for this month. If you want to see some of my other stuff, then click on the links around me. I'm not sure where they're going to be because I'm going to play with YouTube's end card feature. Anyway, that's it for me today though. Not many updates today. I've been Giguk, and I'll see you all next time.